Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a DIY Dollar Tree Rustic Country Farmhouse tree. It's so cute, it looks all ruffly. We're going to use this tree from the Dollar Tree, this sparkly, too much blingy tree, and some of the dark green wire-edged burlap ribbon and a little tiny bit of the natural. But you can make it any color you want. And you're going to need your gluing device as well as your cutting device. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is take all of that horrible garland off. No, I'm kidding. These aren't terrible. They just look cheap. And, I always keep the garland, though, because you never know when you need it for another project. But the first thing I'm actually going to do, I start to take the garland off, and then I'm going to take off these embellishments. Now, I'm never throwing anything away that I can use again in a project. There is five red rhinestones on here and 4 of the blingy little snowflakes, I believe. And they're cute. One of the snowflakes actually broke when I was taking it off, but that's no big deal. You can always glue it back together if you're going to use it on a project. And they're pretty flat, so they'll fit on like cards or, any kind of Christmas embellishments you want. I have like a little findings jar, one of my little recycled mason jars from the candles. I basically keep all these little things in that you find from here and there and when you redo items. But this really does peel easily. It just unwinds off. Now pay attention as you're unwinding it, because we're kind of just going to wind ribbon on here. Now, there's a couple of tips to it, because it's not just, otherwise I'd just be on Instagram and be like, here, copy this. There's just a couple of tips, a couple of things that I figured out for you. But the first thing I wanted to do is to tell you that I'm going to show you what it's going to look like, or half of it's going to look like, if you wanted to use the Dollar Tree's pine garland to make it a realistic flat tree that you can hang on your wall, okay? But first, we have to, neatly wrap up all the things we're going to save, okay? But I have lots of this pine garland that they sell at the Dollar Tree. You get 15 feet for $1. If you're going to do this with pine garland, you only need 1. But if you're going to do this with the ribbon, you're probably going to need 2 of the green and 1 of the natural. But again, that's an option. Again, you can do it in that really cute mint green. Would be pretty if you have that sort of winter wonderland sort of farmhousey mason jar blue color that they have. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So this garland has a wire down the middle, excuse me. So you can manipulate it very easy. What I'm just going to show you here what it looks like. If you wanted to do a super easy project and you wanted to make this look like a real tree, then you just can wrap it around it. Honestly, that's what you can, and I'm going to show you here. We're just wrapping it a couple of times, making sure we stay between the little spikes, and we're going to cover it. And it's dimensional from the side. I say it's flat, but it actually is dimensional. Like you could see the 3 sections of the tree pop out a little bit. So if you went ahead and wrapped this, would be great also, because if you decide you want to unwrap it next year, you haven't done anything to cut up the garland or anything. So you could see here how it's like dimensional. Do you see that? The 3 layers. So I just want to show you how quick and easy it is to just wrap this with natural if that's what you want. But that is not what I want. And that's not the look that I was going for. But I really just wanted to show you. I actually have 2 of these, and I was actually going to do them 2 different ways for you. But I realized I love the ribbon so much that I didn't want to go ahead and wrap the pine garland. I am just going to use the dark green wire-edged burlap ribbon. Now this dark green wire-edged burlap ribbon is a standard item that they carry throughout the year. Now your store may be sold out from time to time, but in the craft section there is the dark green, the light blue green, the hot pink, and the natural are all in a case together, and they're normally an item that stays out all year. Again, depending on whether or not your manager orders them, or if you are sold out of the ones. Oddly enough, I always find that the dark green is the one that's always left over in the box, and we've done so much with them. We made our shamrock out of this dark green ribbon. But basically what I'm going to do, and I'm saying, I'm showing you here how I'm working out the kinks for you. But what we're going to end up doing is you're going to end up just starting at the very bottom. And whether you start at the left or the right, I guess that would depend if you're a lefty or a righty. And we are just going to weave this back and forth on those pegs. Once you have it all weaved, you can go ahead and adjust your ruffles, but just go back and forth. I actually started on the front with the little tab, and I went around the notch from the top to the bottom, so it would come through from underneath, and I went across the front, and then I went underneath that notch and around the back, and I did that back and forth. You don't want to skip any. You could probably get full coverage if you skip every other notch, but it just won't give you that same full ruffle effect that you get when you go ahead and do every notch. But if you're limited on ribbon, you could skip from here to here and, from time to time and fill it in by stretching your ribbon out as well. Okay. Now I just picked this dark green burlap. Again, this would look really cute if it was that pale green, almost like that, the new retro looking colors that they have, did I just say new retro? I did. The retro colors that are out this year, that sort of turquoisey blue, that would look really cute on this tree as well as the hot pink. But I just wanted to go ahead and add this to my forest rustic country mantle, and I wanted to just leave it green. But you could really do this with anything as long as it's wide enough. You can cut up fabric. You could use any of the ginghams or the checked fabrics that you guys like so much. All right. And when you get to the part where you're going to bump up to the next level, you don't really have to cover that underside because the ribbon is textured enough. It does a pretty good job of covering the layers. You're trying also not to twist the ribbon up because that'll also make it tighter, and you'll see the holidays. So make sure you kind of like as you go around, even though you're pinching it around the notch, you want to make sure you keep the ribbon open and spread out a little bit. Okay. And then you're just going to continue the rest of the way. I actually had to piece two together. So you just want to make sure you do that in the back with a little bit of hot glue. The one that I started with wasn't a whole row of, a whole roll of ribbon, but I wanted to make sure I used it first. So if you do find that necessary, then you just go ahead and make sure you glue it in the back, no matter how you figure it out. Just wrap it around and then start from start to finish back again. Okay. So do you see there? I went around the back that one time so that the glue was in the seam was in the back, and then I just continued back and forth around the front of the tree. Okay. And we're going to do this all the way to the very, very top. This would also look cute in layers. So if you had the opportunity to get your hands on some different colored burlap ribbons or different colored ribbons, it would look really cute, like gradient with like an ombre effect as well if you started with a light color and went down to a dark color. I thought that would be cute as well. Okay. Now, if you do like the blinged out farmhouse look, you can go ahead and put those snowflakes and those rhinestones back on this tree, and that would give you sort of a blinged out farmhouse look, if that's what the look that you're going for. Or you could take that garland and actually make it like a garland. So you can make the tree out of the ribbon, and then you can actually put garland on it like you were decorating an actual tree. So just some options for you guys. I love to give you guys options. I love to give you guys options and then hear from you about how you would do it if you were doing it again, or if you're going to do it yourself. All right. Now, hopefully you guys got some of these trees, or if your Dollar Tree still has some. My Dollar Tree does have quite a bit of Christmas stuff left, considering, but it's at the ends of the aisles. The only thing they have in the front are gift bags, boxes, wrapping paper, tissue paper, that kind of stuff, and then some candy. But most of all of their crafting stuff and most of their decor that they have left is at the ends of the aisles towards where the soap is. So if you're looking for something that you can't find, ask, because they may have it in a different location in the store. Okay. Now, when we get to the very top, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off, leaving 2 or 3 inches, but depending on what you want. And because I'm not going to hang this, but even if I was, this is still how I would finish it. There's a hanging hole at the top. I'm just going to feed my last piece through. I kind of wrapped it around and then just fed it through from the opposite side. So if I wrapped it around the back, it came to the front, and then I pushed it through to the back, so that it basically will hold it there, and it'll also cover that green top. All right, and then just want to glue it down the back, a couple of dots of hot glue. I glued the top piece, and then the bottom piece I glued to secure it as well. Okay, now if you did want to hang this, then you can go ahead and you can add your jute hanger or whatever kind of hanger you want, ribbon or otherwise. And now we're just going to fluff it, straighten it out. I don't think mine needed very much because it really did have that ruffly, rustic sort of feel that I was going for. It kind of just came across. So I just want to show you that if you need to fluff out some spaces, fill in any holidays, you absolutely can. It's so easy. And then if this isn't the look you're going for, if you want something cleaner, then you can go ahead and adjust that as well. But I just so love this. Like, I have two, and I'm so glad that I have two. I just need to buy more green ribbon, believe it or not. But I'm so happy with it. I really am. So then I wanted to make, even though it was going to sit behind my garland on my fireplace, I wanted to go ahead and finish the bottom off. So I just took the natural burlap. This is just an option. You can pick whatever material you want to use for it. It would be really cute if you covered it with like twigs, like got little sticks and wrapped little sticks around there. There'd be such cute ideas. I'd love to see what you guys do with it. But I'm just going to do exactly what I did to the top of the tree with the natural burlap on the bottom to make the stem, the trunk. Okay? And this is very easy. You're just going to go back and forth. And again, just fasten with glue at the very top and the very bottom. Okay? And that's it. I'm telling you, I stinking love this thing. I was telling Jimmy, I was like, next year I'm making a forest. I'm going to buy all the green burlap, and I'm going to buy all these trees. So that's it, everybody. I hope you really liked this tutorial. It was so much fun to do, and I know it was so simple, but still so pretty. And if you really love it, I would love to know if you do make them, if you find these trees. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to share with friends and family. Anybody you know might be interested in learning how to do this or this technique. There's lots of these plastic glittery things in all different varieties of shapes. If you haven't yet, click subscribe. When you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And as always, take care, God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye.